Hi everyone, it's Kathleen Deggelman. Thanks for joining us today. Today's topic is going to be how to help your distributor get started right. For those of you that don't know me, I'll just share briefly. I've been in the industry, network marketing, for about 7.5 years, and I consider it one of the very best decisions that I ever made to join this industry. I was in corporate America for 20 years before. I was a real estate agent, became a real estate investor about 8-9 years ago, and when the economy tanked in 2006, it was going to take me and my investment properties down with it if I didn't do something quickly. And I'm very glad that I got the phone call. It typically starts with a phone call, your introduction to this world. I didn't know anything about it, but I was intrigued, and I'm so glad that I said yes. I joined Jeunesse about a year ago. I have made millions of dollars in this industry, and I'm very much looking forward to doing that again in Jeunesse and to helping a lot of other people do the same thing. And if you're not in Jeunesse and you're possibly in another network, you'll still be able to learn a lot from this webinar, because there's a lot that is generic and not company specific. So let's go ahead and get started. And I'm going to maximize this screen. So first, let's talk about what not to do. What's very common in our industry when we get a brand new distributor or a group of distributors started is we spend all of our time getting them to sign up, and then we leave them alone to figure it all out. And that's what you don't want to do. You invest so much time and energy in helping somebody to see that this is what they want to do in terms of a business, or at least to try the products, and then we often leave and go on to the next person. When somebody says that they want to do this with you, you want to sit down and spend some time with them. Don't leave them alone to figure it all out on their own. Success absolutely does leave clues, and you want to follow the leaders. You want to listen to your active upline. You want to get connected with the system that's both provided by your active upline, the leaders in your company, and also what your company is providing you to. And what you don't want to do is think that you need to reinvent the rules. There's a lot of times where people come to me and they say, well, what about this and what about this, and have you tried this? I mean, if it's not out there, odds are good it may be because it doesn't work. Absolutely, you need to be coachable. One of the things that's interesting is often when I call people and they're asking me for my advice, and they don't give me much of a chance to talk. Let the person that you're seeking counsel from do more of the talking, and you do more of the listening. And you definitely want to listen, watch, and do. You need to take actions. And if you want to have what the leaders in this industry have and what they've been able to accomplish, then you want to follow in their footsteps and do what they do so that you can have what they have. And successful leaders always keep bringing new people in this industry. And one of the things I've found over the years is that often when we get a couple people going, we start to go into management mode and we stop sponsoring people ourselves. And if you look at the clues that successful leaders are doing in the industry, we always keep sponsoring new people into our business. I just had my 1-year anniversary with Jeunesse, and I have sponsored 70 people in my first year. My goal was to sponsor 100, so I fell a little bit short, but I still feel pretty good about 70. And I'm always actively talking to new people, meeting with prospects, and encouraging them to join us, to at least try the products, and also always looking for people that want to build the business with us. So another mistake that we make is we often work with the people who aren't making it happen. And what successful leaders do in this industry is we work with the people who are making it happen. We have a tendency in this industry as we get a great team going and we think, okay, they're settled, so now I'm going to go work over here because this person really needs it, and they're not. It's not working for them. It's not happening for them. I'm not saying that you don't want to spend time with people who deserve your help, But the people who really deserve your help are the ones who are engaged and who are doing the activities. Don't get somebody started and they're doing well and think that, okay, now you can leave them. You absolutely want to continue to work with them too, because they're the ones that are making it happen. We have a tendency to work with people. We struggle often with people who really aren't engaged and who aren't doing the activities. If they're not doing the activities, if they're not engaged, then it's probably not for them. So keep looking and work with the people who are making it happen. As a successful leader helps people get started right, and that's what we're going to talk in depth about on this webinar today. Successful leaders don't promise the world. Don't say things like, oh, it's, you're going to make so much money so fast, and set reasonable expectations, and we'll talk more about that. And successful leaders also let the tools do the talking. The key to this business is duplication, and if you want the freedom and the income that this business model can afford you, then you absolutely need to let the tools do the talking. If you are always the one to explain everything, and if you're not pointing to a tool when you can, then you're not going to have the time and energy to talk to as many people as you need to. So let the tools do the talking. You are the sponsor. That is something you need to take seriously when you bring somebody new into this business model. It is absolutely your responsibility and your obligation to help a new person to get started right and to help a new person to get started well. And these are some of the steps that you want to take. When somebody first comes into your business or joins your team, you want to congratulate them on their decision. Help them to feel good about the decision that they've made, and help them to set reasonable expectations. Oftentimes in this industry, you'll hear people say, things like, well, now I work for you. We're going to do this together. It's true that you're going to do this together, but their business starts with them, and their success and their failure is going to be because of them. You as their sponsor are here to guide them. They are ultimately responsible for their success. Don't ever say it's going to be easy, because it's not. I mean, compared to a lot of things, it is. I have to say it's not brain surgery. You don't have to take a difficult test, but it's not going to be easy. It does take work. And, again, don't tell somebody that they're going to make a lot of money quickly. Here are some of the next steps. You absolutely are the teacher. Let your new distributor know you're a resource for them to build their business. And get comfortable with this sentence. My job is to help you become independent from me as quickly as possible. Do you agree that's a good goal? Let me say that again. My job is to help you become independent from me as quickly as possible. Do you agree that's a good goal? If you're the one that's always in front of the room, or you're the one that's always on the webinar, then you're not going to create the duplication and the freedom that you want. Your job as the teacher, the coach, the mentor, the sponsor is to help people know what they need to know to get their own business going successfully. These are some of the things you do want to let your brand new distributors know. That there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be good times and not so good. It's not easy. It does take work. You want to let them know that you're going to be there to remind them why they made this decision. You want to know what their why is. We call it a why in this industry. You want to know why they're doing this. Why are they going to take the time and energy and resources away from what they're currently doing and from their family and loved ones? Everybody, when you ask enough questions, is going to have a very significant why that they are going to do this. And often it's related to finances and money. I mean, that's obviously a very common one in today's economy. But you want to ask more questions than that. Understand, when they have the financial freedom, what is it going to mean to them, and what is it going to do for them, and how will it change their lives? You need to let them know that you are not the excuse or the reason for their success or failure. They are. It starts with them. You're there as a resource. You absolutely, when you get somebody started right, you want to go through a checklist. On our jfactorteam.com for our Jeunesse business, we've got a welcome letter and a fast start training. Those are two great checklists to start with. You want to help the brand new person choose an appropriate sign-up package based on their goals, interests, and also their resources financially. I never want to push somebody to spend, extraordinary amounts of money that they possibly don't have. The good thing is with our sign-up package, it's not extraordinary amounts of money, but I do want to push people a little bit to stretch, because oftentimes people will just put their toe in the water and get the least expensive package, and if they're serious about this, then you need to help encourage them to choose the sign-up package that is best for them to get their business going. And then the next thing you want to do is help them get set up on auto ship. And one of the reasons, there's a couple of reasons why it's important for them to be on auto ship. It's important for their team and for their business that they are on auto ship, because their team is going to do what they do. It's important in our business model that we create what's called a sacred auto ship foundation, because that is the basis for the passive residual income that's to come. And another reason for auto ship is our team and ourselves, we need to become raving fans of our own products. And that enthusiasm and energy will only show up because we consistently use the products. And then you also want to teach them how to use the back office, our Jeunesse back office replicated website that's really fun and easy to use. I love that it's real time in terms of the commissions. And then you want to encourage them to become an executive and get the J factor as quickly as possible. And in our business model, Jeunesse, becoming an executive is the first step. We want to encourage people to do that in the first week. And all that means is that you've sponsored 2 people, one on your right leg, one on your left leg. And then you get the J factor when you've sponsored 2 preferred customers. And we encourage people to do both of these things in the first 2 weeks. And then you also want to help them set up J Social if they want to monetize Facebook. And that's one of the things I love about our Jeunesse business model is they're very forward thinking. They're ahead of the curve. We are the only network marketing company that has the exclusive ability to easily place free samples using J Social on Facebook. And then next, what you want to do with your brand new team or people is to introduce them to our Jeunesse J Factor team. And this is just a collage of some of the wonderful people that have come together to build Jeunesse. And these are, on the left, are some of the tools that we have available for our J Factor team. We've got a 5-minute sizzle line call. You have a choice between myself and also Kelly Bangert. We've got on-demand. Kelly Bangert is my upline in Jeunesse. He's a stellar role model for this business. We've worked together previously, and we're very, very happy that we've come together again with Jeunesse. We also have on-demand webinars that are pre-recorded. We've got our own private Facebook group. If you're joining us, you want to make sure that you get connected with our Facebook group. We've got a team calendar. Our training hub is called jfactorteam.com, and you as a responsible sponsor need to take your brand new person through those links and those steps on jfactorteam.com, and that's where you're going to find our team calendar. We're also offering social media training, and I've created a customer platform. It's called secrets2flawlessskin.com, and that's a great place for you to send potential prospects and business builders so that they can see before and afters and customer testimonials on the skincare line. And then, as I mentioned, we've got our jfactorteam.com as our training and systems platform. So lots of great things come with being a part of our team. And now let's go through some of the other important items that should be on your checklist. You want to review the comp plan with your brand new person. It's not important that they understand every single detail as they're just getting started. Some of that will come with time, but they do need to understand the key points. And one of the things I've noticed in this industry is that It's easier to talk about the products, especially in the beginning. And if you find that you as the sponsor are only talking about the products, then that's what your team is going to do too. And if you're not comfortable with the comp plan, then your team's not going to be comfortable with the comp plan. It all starts to trickle down. It's definitely easier to talk about the products no matter what the business model is. So you need to spend some time and review the comp plan with your brand new people. Use the tools. I've created a recorded webinar explaining the comp plan. You can use that, and then you can sit down and actually go through the document called the Financial Rewards Plan that Jeunesse has for us. But the recorded webinar really should be enough. Like I said, if you're not talking about the comp plan with your distributors, if you're not teaching them and not helping them to feel comfortable with the key points of the comp plan, then they're not going to bring it up, and they're going to attract customers, which is great, but it's not enough if somebody's serious about making money. And a very wise person in the industry said to me years ago when I asked him, how will I know who the business builders are? And he said, you'll know who the business builders are by the questions they ask. So business builders, people who are serious about the money, will look to know the comp plan. And this is a very important skill that you want to help your new distributor, especially if they're new to network marketing, understand, and it's how to invite. And there is an art to how you properly invite somebody to take a look at the products and the business in our business model. And there's 8 steps. I'm just going to go through this quickly, but you want to be in a hurry. However you share this initially with somebody, if it takes you an hour to invite somebody and go through the highlights of what you want to share with them, guess what they're going to be thinking in the back of their mind? They're going to be thinking, I don't have an hour to share with 5 to 10 people every week. I don't know anybody that isn't busy right now. So you want to set the tone that you just got a couple of minutes, you're in a hurry. You want to start the conversation with a genuine compliment. It could be things like, I've always respected, how you run your business, or I've always really appreciated your advice. I have something that I would love for you to take a look at. So pay a genuine compliment. And then number 3, make the invitation. A phrase like, if I could show you a way to make extra income working a side project with me, are you open? That's what I use. I love the ending, are you open? Because at the end of the day, all I'm looking for are people who are open to hearing about the next step. And then also get really comfortable with sentences that start with if I, and then finish with would you. Things like, if I gave you a link to a webinar, would you listen to it? If I invited you to my home for a gathering to learn about this, would you come? If I, would you? And then step 5, get a time commitment. It's one thing to invite somebody, it's one thing to ask them, but you need to help them set a commitment that they're actually going to do this. So get comfortable with, when do you think you can listen to the call or watch the webinar? It's an accountability question, and it's an important part about how you professionally invite someone. And then 6, you want to get a confirmed time commitment. So once they say, 10 o'clock next Wednesday, I will have listened to this, then you repeat back, so you will have listened or watched by 10 o'clock next Wednesday for sure. And it might feel a little bit funny to say that for sure at the end, but when you say for sure, you're upping the ante on their commitment. And you didn't set the appointment, they did. And then next, you want to schedule the next call. You're working from exposure to exposure. So you want to schedule the next call. What's the best number and time for me to call you back? Confirm that, and then get off the phone, stop talking. What often happens in our business is we follow these initial steps, or at least some of them, and then we stay on the phone for another hour. You want to get off the phone, stop talking, and preferably you're sending a tool, and that's going to help them get to the next level, and then you've got your confirmed appointment set up. I will be doing a whole webinar on how to professionally invite soon, but that just gives you a quick overview. And now next on your checklist, you want to help them set some goals. When you're talking to a brand new person or a brand new team, what are their goals? It's about them. You want to help them set target dates for when they're going to achieve what ranks. And in Jeunesse, we've got Jade, Pearl, Sapphire, Ruby. At a minimum, help them set target dates for those goals. And you absolutely need to help them get results quickly. People need to make money in our business model quickly, or they lose interest. And so you help them to become an executive in the first 48 hours, help them to get the J factor, which is they've got the 2 distributors to become an executive, and then they bring in their first 2 preferred customers, which in Jeunesse means they now get to participate in our preferred customer program, which is fantastic. And then you also want to help them plan their schedule so that it includes our weekly team calls, our Monday night team calls, our Saturday training calls, the different events that we have live, online, and also in person throughout the week. And also you want to plug them into the company calls and events. And one of the most important things you can do when you're helping a new person to get started is to give them specific assignments. A brand new person is looking for direction, and one of the most valuable things you can do for them is to set simple assignments with a deadline when you're first walking them through how to get this business going. And it can be any number, or 1 or 2 of the things that are on this list. Help them sign up or assign a date. Help them to assign a date for their first distributor. Help them sign up their first customer. Help them to get their first check. What's their date to attend their first event? When are they going to host their first event? When are they going to have their first one-on-one in-person appointment? How many sizzle calls will they set up this week? How many 3-way calls with their upline will they set up this week and next week? And another one that I love is a target date with when they're going to create a dream board with their why written down. That's a really fun one for people to do too. So I just want to encourage you to become the sponsor that you would want to have. It absolutely will come back to you many times over when you become that person. And one of the things I love about this industry, there's so many wonderful things about it, but one of the things I love is that along the way, as you achieve the success that you're looking for, you will step into bigger shoes and you will become the person that you've always wanted to be. And that's a wonderful thing about this industry. And lastly, I just want to remind you that you need to be there to remind them of the ways that they can change their life. When I talked about that why earlier, for me, I'm in great physical shape. I've gotten to do so many fun and wonderful things over the years. I've traveled all over the world to wonderful places like Tahiti and Maui and Hong Kong and Thailand. And I'm going to Thailand for Jeunesse's annual convention in just a couple of weeks. I'm really excited about that. I've also been able to help children all around the world in wonderful ways. I've been able to help build over 10 homes for widowed women and children in Rwanda. I help support several teenage girls in Ethiopia. I help support orphanages in Mexico. And also through Jeunesse, I help support Jeunesse Kids, whose vision is to help feed millions of kids all over the world. I've made an enormous amount of money building this business the last 7 years, and I even met my husband through this industry. I was introduced to my husband about almost 4 years ago through a friend in network marketing. So the ways that this business can change your life are extraordinary, and if you decide to build this business, if you decide to take it seriously, I can promise you that it will help change your life in extraordinary ways too. So that's it for today. I hope that you enjoyed this and that you got something out of it, and I very much look forward to talking with you again soon. Have a great Friday and a great weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.